but a dream. Never give up on your goals. Stay focused on you. Focus on you. Succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go.
This is Piani Locker with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM, where we will talk politics, culture, and history. This show is brought to you today by Golden Pizza and Wings on Golden and Highland and Olive and Waterman. They had the 7.55 plus tax deal all right over there at Golden Pizza and Wings. So, you know, on Friday, you know, you want some pizza. Your kids might want some pizza.
Pizza pie.
Reasonable price. You know, head on over there. And if you're vegetarian, just get it with no pepperonis, right?
Order the salad with the grilled chicken.
Yeah, we do get the salad. The chicken salad's incredible. We love that. Oh my! But they do have regular salad as well.
There you go.
Good stuff. I also like to mention PAL Charter Academy, middle school and high school, and summer school enrollment ends June 20th. PAL provides high-quality instruction every kid deserves. Info at palcenter.org or call 909-887-7002 and get them enrolled in summer school. Summer school is not just for delinquents or kids that are doing bad. It's for giving your kids a head start.
Yes, indeed.
Right? Put them in summer school, team, especially at PAL Charter Academy. And I'd like to mention our I Love San Bernardino Standout of the Week are the PAL Charter graduates and all the San Bernardino County graduates in general. Congratulations. I've seen Mr. Baca everywhere, all around town. And also, PAL Charter Academy invited me to their graduation Thursday at Valley College, and I want to extend congratulations to all of them and thank them for all those little interviews I did with them, and they treated me with such respect.
Beautiful.
PAL Charter Academy is awesome. And then I heard San Bernardino High School graduate, and it was loud.
Louder than any pirates could be, you know. In the house.
Woo! So, like, I mean, the only thing that was louder is I think I heard Pacific High School, like, echoing from theirs before. So, like, it was just leftover sound, but, like, it was still so loud.
There you go. Cardinal pride.
Pacific Pirates rule. All right, if you would like to request city services for the city of San Bernardino, contact online, sbcity.org/sbaccess. Use the mobile app, get it at the App Store, go SB City, and then in a picture, the GPS, or call 384-7272 and order some city services. Definitely. I'd like to also mention that Miokja Shabu Shabu, right across the street from Costco. Cindy Ta has an incredible little restaurant there for foodies, and she is trying to bring foodie businesses here into the city of San Bernardino and Loma Linda. She has mochi nut, she has BBQ Korean fried chicken, and she has right across the street hot pot shabu. Right there, Miokja, right across the street. You get your gas at Costco, travel across. It's for foodies. It's good that you're cooking your food right in front of you, man.
There you go.
So, like, I'm sure you could get just vegetables. There's probably something there as well.
Definitely.
Good stuff. Go in there and try it. Thank you, Cindy Ta, for all you do. All right. Now we have Supervisor Joe Bach in the house. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing outstanding. Thank you, Robert and Biana, for having me here today. It sounds like there's a lot of energy. You guys have good energy. It's amazing energy.
There you go.
I do try to put a good energy for the city of San Bernardino, and that's because this show right here is brought to you by Motivational Realizations, the energy of positive thoughts.
I love it. I love it. I love San Bernardino, and I love this show.
Hey, now.
Is this the third or second time?
This is my second time as a county supervisor being on the show.
Okay.
So thank you for having me.
Oh, man, we love it, and we love it. And as well in your family. Your father, a former congressman, did a lot for the city of San Bernardino all those years, and the county as well. And now, as a councilman in the city of Rialto, correct?
Mayor.
Rialto, you know, he's still moving forward and still helping the community. So will you give him a big hug from us?
I will give him a big hug. I'm very proud of my father. He served as inspiration for me, and he's doing great things in Rialto.
And he did great things in general, and his legacy will stand the test of time, that's for sure, in this area.
You know, one thing I appreciate is the Memorial Day event that happens in Rialto. Often the mayor, Aquanetta, often comes and attends as well. It's a beautiful ceremony. My father is, has passed on, but he was a part of the Air Force. And my father as well, and most of my uncles have served. So I love that, and me and my mom have been attending that for the last 3 years since my father passed, as a tradition to honor his memory, and all those that have served as well. So I appreciate that too.
So we appreciate you coming to Rialto and visiting us. Thank you
There
so
you
much.
go. There you go. No
This is
problem.
my cool local story. Like for last powwow, I'm over there chilling, taking my pictures like normal.
Yeah, yeah.
No, wait, it wasn't powwow. It was Native American night, Native
Okay.
American Day. And then I see Mr. Baca. He comes on up. I was like, hey, dude, how you been? He reaches up. Baseball card. He's like, oh,
If you need an extra one, I can get you another one.
the only
I'll
thing
get you a
that-
personally signed one.
like I was like the bird singers were going, and I was like, I wanted to ask him to sign it, but next time he might have
it.
another one, huh?
He
So
will.
yeah, all right, maybe I'll have two in the future.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you
good
go.
times, good times. So, Yanni, what's your first question for the supervisor?
Here, the vision that San Bernardino County, the Board of Supervisors, kind of has for our county, for the biggest county in the country. What are you guys hoping to create and grow within our community?
Sure. So one of the things that people sometimes don't even understand what a supervisor does. So one of the things that we're responsible for is, a $10 billion budget, and we have many social services and many pass-through funds come. Our operating budget is only about 20% of the budget. The rest of it is pass-through programs we run through our TAD department, through many of our behavioral health programs that we run throughout the county. But I can't speak for my other colleagues, but one of the things that we've been really pushing for in the 5th district is our roadmap to revitalization. So we have a lot of capital projects that we've invested in.
What's the capital project?
So just to give you an idea what a capital project is, usually a construction or physical project, a building, it could be transportation, could be a park. That's an example of a capital project. We've made several investments throughout the county. So I'll go into those, but at least some of the bigger things, the bigger picture things that we're working for is an animal shelter. So we have an animal shelter that's under construction in the unincorporated area of Bloomington. That's about a $65 million project, which will provide animal service. Some of our cities have their own animal shelters. For example, City of San Bernardino has their own animal shelter. But some of our other cities like Fontana, Rialto, Colton, Loma Linda, Highland, Yucaipa don't have an animal shelter.
Or they have to contract with others.
They have to contract. So we have two cities that contract with our county animal shelter in Devore. That's the city of Highland and the city of Yucaipa. But we're looking at expanding those services.
Which we need. We really do need help. There's a great need to help the animals. One quick question.
Sure.
Will this new shelter have access to a veterinarian?
As a matter of fact, we have a veterinarian in our current animal shelter at Devore. We're looking at adding an additional veterinarian. We're adding more vet techs. So we're looking at expanding services there. That's just so important. Having areas to walk the animals. We get animals from all over the county. You name it. We get cats, dogs, potbelly pigs, horses.
Could I make a small request on behalf
Sure.
of the city? I don't even know if it's possible, but they're having a hard time getting a veterinarian through the city of San Bernardino. So I don't know if there might be something that go on there, like a little collaboration, because I believe the issue is spay and neuter. The more we can get spay and neutered, the less animals we gotta, unfortunately, euthanize and things like that, the bad things in the end.
Yeah, so one of the things we do is we have a mobile clinic which goes in our areas. They do spadering, neutering, chipping, which is important.
Yes!
That's just so critical. We have great relationships with many of our rescue groups to help these animals find a home. That's just so important. But we're also looking to expand our services and provide them for many cities. But this is just a big issue. It's an important issue, and we get a lot of requests about animal issues. So that's just one of the things that we're responsible for.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I know, like, helping the city with a veterinarian is a very complex issue, but
Yes.
I'm hoping someday that I asked them. I said maybe we need to increase the salary a little bit, but let's just hope in the future we do get one, so we can have a spay and neuter program, and that will help the county too, right?
Yeah, no, it's competitive, and you mentioned the pay. I think one time the county used to contract out that service. Now we have, one full-time, we're looking at adding 2 full-time veterinarians with the county. So
I think that is awesome.
It's
I mean,
good stuff.
And I like it when we keep, specialized skills in our county,
Yes,
right?
sure.
It's good to have those specialized skills because that it bleeds out into all the people they work with, and I mean, it really is good for the health of a strong county and city.
Yeah, and just sometimes people don't understand jurisdictions. Like for us in the county of San Bernardino, we have a park district in Bloomington. So what happens in Bloomington, all the property owners are assessed a small amount of money, and it pays for 2 community parks, one in called Kessler Park, one called Ayala Park. Ayala Park, we offer some parks and rec services. Kessler Park, we run our community programs. We have our Little League there. So those are the 2 jurisdictions. Sometimes people think that we have multiple jurisdictions, and those are jurisdictions for park districts. We're also responsible for regional parks. We're responsible for Glen Helen Regional Park,
Okay.
which is, we've made significant investments.
Can I ask a question about
Sure.
jurisdictions? In San Bernardino, we have these things that people often mention called county pockets. Could you explain those to us?
Sure. So we have areas in San Bernardino which have not been incorporated over time. So for example, we have the Del Rosa community. We actually have 4 pockets in the Del Rosa area that are county, they're not city. We're responsible for the roads, sidewalks, infrastructure, police services within those areas in the Del Rosa community.
The sheriff, right? That's,
Yes.
The sheriff.
Always,
Let me give clarity. The sheriff's responsible for any law enforcement issue, but when it comes to traffic, the highway patrol is responsible, has jurisdiction in the unincorporated communities.
That explains why I see the highway patrol sometimes up in Sterling and Del Rosa area, and sometimes having people pulled over, and it's normally like, is this their jurisdiction? It must be one of those.
Traffic, yeah.
Yeah, I believe Governor Newsom has directed them to, help San Bernardino on our streets. And there was a saturation patrol last weekend through the highway patrol throughout the state, I believe.
Yeah,
so we'll be seeing more of them, I'm sure.
So let me talk about the other pockets in the San Bernardino area. We have Little Third. It's a small community that's just right across the street from the sheriff's department. Just
Okay, I
east
know
of
that area,
Waterloo.
yeah.
That's a small unincorporated pocket. If you guys are familiar with Cajon High School, we have a small unincorporated
Arrowhead
pocket,
Farms.
Arrowhead Farms.
Yes.
That
And how
people
about
think it's,
Muscoy?
That is an old school area.
yeah, Muscoy's part of our unincorporated area. So we're making investments. When I say capital projects, we're looking at road improvements in the Del Rosa community. We just added a fire station, which is 10.3 million, which services the Del Rosa and
Good
San
move.
Bernardino community. In Little Third, we just had a groundbreaking last week where we got $2.5 million from Congressman Aguilar. We got Measure I money through a county fee that's assessed to do some improvements for roads and sidewalks and fencing in the Little Third community. So we're making significant investments in Arrowhead Farms. What we're working with is the San Bernardino City Water Department. We're actually trying to do some conversions, not the entire community, but certain parts of the community going from septic to sewer, because some of those communities are on septic tank. So we're trying to make some investments there.
That is actually how my family made money, by changing Fontana's septic to sewer over years and years and years. I have another question.
Sure.
I would love to jump in and find this out because I recently had a meeting with the CEO of Riverside County, Jeff Van Wagden. I always miss Jeff. And he was expressing how the actual fear of the current administration pulling funding from the federal level for the state of California is something that they're thinking about and trying to get ahead of in Riverside County. I'm wondering, are you guys worried about a threat of losing some federal funding if the current administration wants to go that way?
Yeah, it's always a concern that they're going to remove federal funding. Like we have certain programs that are, fully funded from the federal department. Like we're one of 2 maybe counties in the state of California that has our preschool services department fully funded by the federal government. So we're concerned about that. But the one thing I have to give our staff credit and our board of supervisors, pretty fiscally responsible board. We have our finance director, Matt Erickson, has really been watching the dollars. So we've scaled back. We've had a good approach to how we spend money. I would say probably better than most counties, where most counties are hurting financially. We're in good shape financially.
Awesome.
Property taxes are declining slowly, but we're pulling back on a few things. but we still have been able to make several one-time investments.
It's always good to balance the budget, right?
Absolutely.
Totally.
My question, I love that question, by the way. But my question is a little.
Sure.
DeVore,
Freedom Acres?
well,
No.
Glen Helen, Silverwood, all these the park areas. Are they stocking those with fish and things? Or are we, you know?
It's interesting you ask that question. So we actually stock the fish every Thursday.
Okay.
Every Thursday, we stock it with fish. We actually have a community group that comes out to actually watch them put the fish into the
Yeah,
lake.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. We have watchdogs that come out and watch.
You gotta pull. Like that's what I'm gonna get my license, and I want to go to Lake
There you go.
Gregory.
There you go.
What do you think?
That'd be great. So we have great regional parks. So one of the things I do every year, and our office does, is we work closely with Children and Family Services, our foster youth, and our probation department. Every March, we have a fishing day with the supervisor to give some of our at-risk youth an opportunity to fish. So they close down one of the lakes for us for a half day. We provide lunch. We provide breakfast for all these kids.
Why do you have to provide lunch? Why don't you just fix fish?
They have. What they do is they have
Get that 10-pounder you caught.
10-pounder. So what they do is they have an area where they show people how to fry fish.
Oh, that is so cool. I used to do that in Mexico all the time.
There you go.
Yeah, so our lakes are, we made several investments. As a matter of fact, we've invested in some of our playgrounds. We've invested in some of our road improvements. The entryway, if you look at the entryway at Glen Helen, it's been improved. So we've probably invested about $15 million into Glen Helen. We redid our splash pads there, and we got more to come. We're looking at some point in time negotiating with Live Nation. We do about 4 to 6 concerts a year. Our goal is to get 20 to 30 concerts
Awesome.
a year.
That's
But
awesome.
it's a negotiations. There's nothing etched in stone. There's nothing I can report now, but that's the ultimate goal.
But that's an excellent goal. I mean, seriously, we need that. Like Yavam, like Seminole draws in so many people, right?
So that being said, are you guys familiar with the bridge that's near Glen Helen? So there's a bridge there that was never finished. We called it the bridge to nowhere. Now it's the bridge to somewhere.
Okay.
So it's going to
All
be
right.
starting construction real soon. So it's about a $60 million completion of the bridge. So the bridge was just unfinished. So we worked with, at that time, Senator Leyva. She wrote a letter to state parks. We got approval to finish the bridge because it's going on state park land. So that will allow for better traffic
Does
flows.
it go over Route 66?
It's near it.
Or?
It's near it.
Okay.
So we get.
Where Sammy Davis lost his eye back in the day?
I can't speak for that.
Yeah.
Speak for that.
It was on Cajon. It was on Cajon, right there at the stop sign, right?
But so the Rosina Ranch community's been concerned about that. The DeBoer community in North San Bernardino have all been concerned about that bridge. Even Live Nation's been concerned about that bridge because of the traffic flow to and from after concerts.
Yeah.
It's really crowded.
Because it's right
Waited in that line, man.
going up the
Oh,
hill.
man.
I could see even I don't know, you know the plans and you can't show everything, but I imagine a parking structure would probably have to be built in that area or something like that.
No, that would-
And
that-
restaurants and people that want to capitalize, if it's 20 or 30 concerts, that's like 3 concerts or 4 concerts a month. You know what I mean? And
Right.
yeah, that'd be great money. So I love that vision. But I know we're rounding out around to the last about 4 or 5 minutes that we have with you.
We can get to 10. I'll give you 10.
Okay.
We
Well,
can bundle up.
Definitely. Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate that. I was wondering for our community, for our youth that may want to be in a leadership role someday in their future, what are some words of wisdom that you can impart upon them, especially when you think about your family's legacy with your brothers and your father?
Especially with all these graduates right now.
and these graduates as
Yeah.
well. For those that have that desire, what are some words of wisdom that you could impart?
Well, one of the things I would just encourage them, so one of the things we do have to try to encourage youth, we have a youth advisory commission. So it's primarily for juniors and seniors in high school. We encourage people to sign up. As a matter of fact, last year we gave out 19 scholarships for $1,500. And most of them were San Bernardino kids.
Hey, now.
That got them, which is good. So what we do is we encourage them to get involved and really build a resume. So this is an opportunity for them to build a resume. But we have minimum requirements for them to get the scholarship. They need to come to so many meetings, attend so many meetings, and participate in a few of our community events. And we give them a community project to do. So last year, our project, which was a good project, we'll continue to do it this year, was to collect flip-flops and sweats. So one of the things with it, we're responsible for our county hospital, which is Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. A lot of times patients come out and don't have clothing. So to have them sweats, to be comfortable in
Yes.
flip-flops as they get discharged, but to really get involved, understand the system, understand, how you can be involved. And I always tell people, look, I'm a guest holder at this office. That's my favorite interview from Barack Obama. He talks about just being a guest holder. Someday I will not be here, and you want to leave it better than where you started.
Absolutely.
And I can just say with some of the investments that we've done in the city of San Bernardino, and I'll just name a few of them. So we've invested $950,000 into Spiker Park. We got San Manuel Band of Mission Indians to invest also $1 million.
Awesome.
Guadalupe Field on the west side of San Bernardino, we've invested $995,000 to the park improvements.
The Yavama of San Manuel.
That's right.
Yeah, we're all Yuhaviatam of San Manuel. Yuhaviatam of San Manuel. We're learning.
Yuhaviatam.
And casino is a Yavama.
Yeah,
Yeah. They just reclaimed their name too. That's it's just beautiful.
just cultural preservation. I mean, that's just huge.
We are so lucky to have them here with us. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Before I want to ask one real quick question. So I saw you the other day at the United Way with Gwen and Tanya and Mr. Ramos and Damon Alexander. And do you work often with a lot of non-for-profits here locally?
We do. We try to support a lot of I'm a big proponent of supporting our youth groups, especially the groups that nobody helps, like especially a lot of our little leagues. And
like the one you hold at the stadium every year, the Baca Foundation?
that's separate.
Oh, so separate.
Separate of my office. But I believe in giving back, and I know that there's a lot of organizations that, don't have the funding and means, especially a lot of our youth groups, it's sports groups.
They do deserve money, but I understand the conflict of interest there. But he did work so hard on that. The Bacas put together this whole baseball camp, and you show up, and all the kids are just having an incredible time the whole day. And one time I went, it rained, and they still had a blast.
They were still under umbrella, and
Awesome.
it was great.
That was good stuff. You better invite me to this year's.
Okay.
All right,
January.
right.
Definitely.
Y'all need an invite?
Am I
Yeah. Hey, I still got that shirt. He gives the good shirts there. He gives the good shirts.
Definitely.
You guys want to cover or talk about?
Well, you know what? As we circle around towards home base, I would just love to hear what you would hope, because I know we look to leadership to do so much, but what is it as citizens of the community, of the county, that we can do to support the efforts to beautify our community, to make sure that our community is safe and thriving,
I think the hardest thing for people to understand, and I had to learn this as an elected official, you got to be clear in your ask, and you got to have a focus. I learned this from a military colonel. He says, Joe, when I was a teacher, he goes, Joe, you got to pick 3 things. You can't do everything. So you got to find a few things to focus on. What is your priority? Make your priority list 1, 2, and 3, and you got to get after it. Keep in mind, there's only so much money to go around. There's only so much people that you can help. You can't help everybody, but what you can do is you can leave a mark. And I believe as a county supervisor, we're leaving a mark throughout. I'm trying to touch every part of the 5th District. Bloomington, Rialto, Colton, San Bernardino, Muscoy, Rosina Ranch. We're trying to make small investments. I can't change anything overnight, but what I can do is I can leave a legacy and get the wheels moving. We've made significant investments in homelessness, and people don't realize this is a complex, difficult issue. But what you have to do is we've been very smart and diligent, not just throwing money at a problem. We have to be methodical, making sure our investments are wise and we're thinking it through. You can't just rush to do things quickly. You got to really think them through and plan them out. And that's the advice I could give people. And pick a few things. You can't do everything. It's impossible. As an elected, you got so much money, time, and even staff. You have to respect staff. I think it's important you give staff clear direction.
Yeah, they can't do everything, man. And it's like none of us can. All right, I have another question. Sure. So,
Last question.
About basically your future. So if Mr. Ramos some days decides to run for U.S. Senate, and would you ever? Would you ever consider, maybe running for a higher office, maybe Congress someday?
I was in the legislature for 2 years, one term. I was a one-term wonder. And honestly, I enjoy the county board of supervisors probably more than any other job that I've ever had. I've been on the city council, and I enjoy the people, and we've been able to accomplish great things as a.
And it's home.
But it's home. I get to be home. I get to be around family. I got great staff. It's truly an honor to be on the county board of supervisors. I don't take it for granted one day. I mean, people have believed in me. I went unopposed this last election cycle, which is a blessing.
Definitely.
But we're doing good things, and someday it's going to be somebody else's turn. But as long as I'm here, I want to do the best job I can, and right now I just want to be the best supervisor I can be.
That's a great answer.
You're doing a wonderful job.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you, dude.
It's always a blessing to be there. I love San Bernardino.
Now, Thank
Johnny
you, sir.
brings it all out.
That's all of us.
And that's
For
I
myself.
like my coffee, like my Starbucks here.
I hear you.
Some little dark brew, or what do they call it, cold brew.
Cold brew.
But I tell you, man, you guys are a fun group to be around. You guys are just so much fun.
Well, thank you so much. And when you need us to come to the events, hit us up. We'll come on down.
Or anything that you promoted.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
There you go. And we're going to keep going here, team. They're going to sneak out on the back, and we're going to move into some history tidbits for you.
Thank you, staff. Thank you to the staff.
We appreciate it, team.
Guys, have a wonderful show. Okay.
Before we get to that, could you let them know how to get the app?
Take care, yeah. God bless.
Oh, yeah, and you can download the app on KCAA. Just go ahead and type in KCAA on the Apple App Store or the Google Play. You can go ahead and listen from Paris, California or Paris, France.
Find your show.
On all streaming platforms, go ahead and just type in Palm Trees and Progress Presents or go to our website, palmtreesandprogress.com. Appreciate the plugs, you guys.
Yeah.
You should be not no more.
He's changed his life.
Well, I have Court Street today. So, this is Guidepost to History concerning origins and place names, San Bernardino County. And I wanted to read it to Mr. Baca, but, he's a busy man. And he has to get a lot of events in, and way more than I usually have to go to, but not more than Yanni. That's for sure. This man here has a lot of events. Court Street. San Bernardino County's first public building was the Mormon Council House, which was used as a county courthouse for some years. From 1858 through 1862, county business was transacted in the one-story brick residence erected by Q.S. Sparks on the corner of 5th and E Street. The supervisors then bought the residence of Charles Glacier on what was to become the corner of Court and E Streets. In 1874, a two-story frame courthouse was erected behind the Glacier home for $25,000, and it can be seen at the top and on the left middle picture. It was at this time that Court Street was dedicated as an entryway to the courthouse. We'll show you that picture right there.
Awesome.
Right there. So the old courthouse right there. As the county grew, the courthouse became inadequate, and the supervisor submitted a proposal to vote bonds to the amount of $125,000 for the building of a county jail and rebuilding of the county courthouse. The amount of the bonds and site chosen met with strong opposition, and the supervisors then proposed a bond issue of $75,000 for erection of a hall of records. This too was voted down. Officials levied a tax of $40,000 and completed the hall of records in 1891. It was opposition to this plan that started the talk in regards to a possible change of county seat and the division of the county into San Bernardino and Riverside. The board of supervisors consisted of William Randall, Victor, J.N. Victor, C. Turner, I.W. Lord, took the drastic action of levying direct taxes and letting our bids for a new courthouse after bond propositions were twice voted down. In 1892, a second building on the corner of E and Court Streets of Court and Market and Sepsis sandstone was completed. It was erected in front of the old courthouse and may be seen in the middle picture below. It served as the county courthouse in 1927 when the present courthouse was erected, and the new one. Right?
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. So some of the old pieces of this building still exist. In front of the new county board of supervisors building and courthouse,
Okay.
right?
That's
So there's like a little history area out there, and there's a few pieces of the sandstone roof that are still
Awesome.
on display out there.
I'm gonna look for it. I'm gonna be there actually tomorrow, so I'll
They
look
got
for
a
it.
couple little history things there. It's like, so that's
Definitely.
what I like to do. Sometimes a little piece of history, a monument or something, make a video and show it.
Totally.
or
No,
whatever,
that's
yeah.
awesome. I appreciate your efforts to highlight the amazing history that is within our community and home of San Bernardino and San Bernardino County.
And your efforts with your photography business, engaging
you.
captures.
Engaging captures
Yeah.
caught.
Engaging captures.
Caught. Yes.
Engaging captures caught. ECC.
Yeah, ECC,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, like, what's your favorite thing? Like, do you like taking pictures of the people? Do you like taking pictures of animals? Like, what have you found so far? Because Young's been missing every Monday in the beginning of the month. He's going to a photography club in Redlands.
Yes, the Redlands Camera Club.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Redlands Camera Club. You know, for me, I think it kind of loops into our origin story, right? How, for those that may not know, me and Robert Porter, we didn't know one another at one point in time, but we were both on a mission to highlight the positive things in our community, and we would do that through what I like to say is poor man's journalism, where we would take pictures of positive events, share resources.
There was a hand.
Very few. Now you see all these Instagram feeds. Been thinking about that,
Yeah.
10 years ago, right? We should have been, but we kind of missed that wave, right? But so that's how Robert and I.
But we may have instigated that
Well,
wave, right?
we might have
because
helped
when
start
we
the
started,
wave.
people were like not saying good things about
Totally.
our area.
Totally,
Right?
totally, no,
Yeah.
totally, and that's something that we both were addressing via individuals, and we didn't know one another. But I used to share into because we're part of so many groups, right?
Yep.
That would share into his I Love San Bernardino page, and then we just happened to run into each other one day at a community event. It's like, hey, you're Robert Porter. He's like, hey, you posted our group a lot, and it was cool, and then we met in public, and then the opportunity to come onto the radio show was through Edwin, when you had brought Edwin on back in the day when he was kind of growing chords, right? And that's when we connected, and you invited me on, just like, hey, you can come on to the show, and you know what I mean, and kind of been rocking with you ever since. But to answer your original question, I love community photography. That's the main crux of Engaging Captures Caught. 80% of what I do is community photography, so I had the opportunity to shoot the IE Black graduation at Cal State San Bernardino. I have a few upcoming events with the Black Worker Center.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
do you do when they're giving a speech and they won't look up from their paper?
That happens, right?
You're trying to get them when they
Yeah. I usually have and that happens so often,
Yes,
bro. You're
yes.
not even lying. You are, because you're a photographer.
you want their eyes, but you don't want their mouth.
Yeah. You know what, bro? As a photographer, we have so much control because you can put so many pictures of those bad pictures. You can put the
If it's the only one you got.
you might want to put it in black and white and just
Yeah.
mess up the highlights and stuff like that.
Put white where the missing teeth are. It's like-
Little Photoshop, little animation, But that does happen. For me, I try to be patient, and sometimes I'll shoot in burst mode, where it's like I'll take 10, hit the photo, and it'll take 10 shots. And I pray that one of those two, the person has their eyes open and looking positive. I try to always show everyone in a flattering light, because some of the ladies be like, oh, let me see the picture. I'm like, I wouldn't post anything that's not showing, lifting your beauty, accentuating your beauty and what you bring.
Yeah. Some pictures have to be like right. Right.
Totally.
At the Adam's apple.
Yeah. You don't want to,
Yeah.
Maybe if I create an OnlyFans for.
Well, no. Some ladies like. Some ladies like the whole figure shown, right?
Definitely.
But some ladies do not, and they will. You look on their Facebook, there will be not one picture of them, right?
No, totally.
So I want to, like, and I know you're like this. I want to be that.
You know, you already know, bro. And if you look at one of the goals too, bro, and it's awesome because some of the, I'm not going to mention no names, but some of the electeds and some of the senators and some of the congressmen, I have shot some of their community events, and lo and behold, they're using some of my imagery in their monthly letters and everything like that. So that's awesome, right?
Yes,
that people think your work is nice and they want to use it to showcase what they're doing in the community. And that's what I'm here to do as far as the photography. But I will rebound that question right back to you. What is your favorite thing to shoot? What are some of your favorite things to capture?
I was thinking about that today, and I've really moved away from using my camera as much as I used to. It's just so much easier to use the cell phone, right? I mean, it's like, it's the same, but what I do miss is Zoom features, the good Zoom feature.
Yeah.
And like, I noticed today that in my garden, I was just sitting out there, watering and relaxing before the show. I like to really relax and think about what I might want to talk about. And I noticed that there was a new type of butterfly in my garden, right?
Awesome.
Besides these huge monarchs that are mating and these Gulf fritillaries, but it was a black one with a really nice, like a orangish bottom wing.
Okay.
And I walked up and I was just about to shoot it. So bad, but it
Flew off.
fluttered away. Yeah.
So-
But I like insects.
Definitely, because it seems like
Because they're hard.
No, I hear you, and you could get butterflies are beautiful, and it seems like you have the monarch freak off happening in your backyard.
And it's not easy. You have to have milkweed for a few years in a row for the babies. Like I think maybe they're babies that were born right around that they came back.
No,
I'm hoping.
You know what? I had an opportunity to go up to Santa Cruz and see where the butterflies is a place where they all fly, and there's like thousands of
That's the West Coast monarch.
the West Coast, and it talks about how they travel all the way back east. It had the route. It was crazy how they do that.
There is a mountain range that comes up the Rockies and the Sierras, right? And that condenses the Western monarch range, right? Then there's the Eastern monarch range. That's the ones that go all the way down into Mexico and back all the way up to Canada. Not all of them,
I hear you.
But like they have actually documented and tagged them to do that.
No, that's amazing.
So yeah, like that's but it's interesting. There may be crossover. I don't know. Like
it probably is.
But I love our animals. I love our insects. I love our birds. And one thing that I'm going to start doing now is because I don't know all the birds in my backyard.
So
Like I know all the spiders and the lizards and
definitely, because you just get like a alligator lizard.
stuff, but I don't know the birds. And like I realize since I have these loquat trees now, all the migrating birds come to my yard.
I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
So I'm like, man, I should know those. So I've actually identified a towhee.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's this little tiny bird that like it almost reminded me of like a smaller than a sparrow,
Okay,
but
okay.
like a little bigger than a hummingbird.
Okay, I
And,
told you.
Yeah, and like
What color
wow.
was it? What color are
Like
they?
brown. They're brown,
Okay,
yeah, but
okay.
they're just pretty little birds. And I was like, wow. So I was like, man, I tried to take a picture of it. I couldn't do it.
I hear you.
So like, it's like that kind of challenge is what, because it's not a challenge to take pictures of people anymore for me.
I believe you.
Yeah, like
I believe you.
I'm like, before I used to collect them. It was like I don't know cards. Like I got a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
But now it's more like, I don't know, more. I want the work to actually be worthwhile and to like have a point, and
Well, to me, that's
Yeah.
like one thing to keep it spicy is start thinking about, especially even when you're shooting people or community, is how you're composing that image, right? Saying you want it with a leading line and you want the backdrop, and you could put a little more thought to it that might help excite the creative process instead of just
That's
point
what
and click.
you have to do that at a city meeting, right? So when you're sitting at a city meeting, you're going to be there for like 5 hours, right?
I hear you.
And then like you've gotten a picture of every politician, you got a close up of everyone with them smiling, with them frowning. Like you did everything you needed to do to tell the story
Definitely.
any way you want.
Yeah, you You are the
right?
author.
So like,
yeah.
they could be frowning from something totally different.
Yeah.
But in the layout of the picture of the album, you could put that frown picture ahead of something else and totally,
Totally.
manipulate the storyline in an album.
No, totally. It's a storyboard because
yeah.
ultimately you use photography to tell a story.
Yes.
Like how we've spoken about this. Like not only are we photographers, we're documentarians, we're historians, we're documenting how life is lived in our times that we are a part of right now, right? And maybe one day, because when you think about history, especially you as anthropologists, when we talk about older times, what are some of the first things they show are images of those times, and I imagine that same practice will be for our times 100 years from now when they look on hey, what's happening in 2025? They'll discover Robert's photos.
It's just
our
one,
photos.
just one. I yeah, just one.
Just one.
I'm hoping that it will be easy enough to create an AI of me that they could question it.
I hear
or whatever.
you. It makes me think of Futurama and the talking heads in the jar.
Well, let me tell you,
Or Walt
Boys
Disney.
were in there too.
as soon as they do that, I want to try to make one of Elmo.
Oh,
right? Yeah,
I
think
agree, man.
that was a lot.
was a very
still
wise
rad.
man. For real.
Yeah,
He was a visionary.
rest in peace. But I always thought, man, that guy as an AI would be super, super cool.
You would have some in-depth conversations, especially if the AI, had some coffee.
Yeah.
And then some fromage to.
So I didn't know whether we should talk about this tonight, but it's just me and you now, and the supervisor's left though. But so there's a protest today. Right now here in the state of California, there's been a lot of immigration protests for and against both sides. It got a little violent, or actually a lot violent last night. Yeah, burning cars and stupid things.
I hear you.
But that's no different than when the Lakers won the championship. Right?
Or at January 6th at the nation's capital.
No, it's way different than that because that actually to me was trying to unseat.
That was worse.
Yeah.
Guard wasn't called out.
That was direction. This is like what happens after a show win, man.
I hear what you're saying. You're correct in that framing. Yes.
I don't really see this as something that is necessary to, go overboard with. But the data will show. And you know what? It maybe if this experiment is taking place, whether we like it or not, we'll know in the future whether it works or not. You know what else we'll know? We're going to know if this type of behavior is appropriate, right? On any side, right?
I'm going to speak, and this is me as Ipiani Lockhart speaking on my behalf and my perspective on this. It seems to be the federal government seems to have a major beef with California, or particularly Gavin Newsom and the current president. And this is it's in my opinion, the federal government trying to pull the levers, even though they may not even have the right to pull those levers, but anything that, this is just my personal opinion, that can, because California is kind of the blue bastion, right? We say it, we know that it's more of a purple state, if anything, but it's definitely the Bay Area, LA, what really makes this state blue. But we are kind of the blue of the nation. They look to this as a blue state.
We lead the nation.
Yes. And so much of our money goes out to support other states in this nation.
$80 billion a year.
So if we were, I don't want to go down that path. Just knowing that this is, to me, this is like a pity pat match.
It's interesting to go down this path because this is politics, and someone who studies politics.
Yeah,
it's very interesting to me.
At its worst, in my opinion.
To have with the president of the United States.
More so, president at odds with a government.
That's Civil War stuff.
And that's what those. I don't even want to. It could easily, and that's what, to me, what Newsom is saying is it's an overkill, right? It's not to that level where things are out of control. City blocks are not burning and stuff. No one's out there really. You have and people that come in that try to see this kind of things, you know, like it makes you think of for me, it makes me think of George Floyd, where they found a damn officer was over here. He was the one busting out the windows at the AutoZone. They got it all on video, right? And trying to incite more violence, right? And I think that's what, this is just my opinion once again, I think that's what's trying to be provoked, where then he say, see, they're crazy in California, and that's why we need, you know, and you know.
But this provoking, this is the one thing. Our National Guard is from California mostly, right?
Definitely,
I mean,
right?
These guys are like, and women, these men and women are sitting there like, what?
Yeah, like so many layers. It's like someone that's, and God bless all those that have served and defend the freedoms of this nation. We thank you for that.
Yes.
But what kind of predicament is that? It has to be. It has to be. I mean, and this has happened in many countries in the past, where some have walked away, some have executed the task, and have harmed their own citizens. But often, those people regret those things to their dying days.
Later
like,
on,
why did I do this? You know, like, this is not why I served. I protect from foreign enemies, not being caught up in a puppet master's theatrical play, right, at the expense of our people, right? And it's interesting how I've seen a lot of threads where people that have supported the current administration said, yes, they wanted to see immigration reform, but the cruelty that this is being orchestrated under, raiding elementary graduations, and you know, it's a level of evil and cruelty that's done. And even though the numbers say that the current administration has deported less than Biden has, but Biden didn't have to bust out the National Guard. Biden didn't have to make a huge spectacle, right? So it's a lot to it, brother.
This is deep.
It's really deep, and it's sad and it's unfortunate. You know, it's very tragic, and so many people that care about this country, and I think most Americans want to, no matter what's political party or affiliate, most of us want the same thing, and it's just different approach.
Healthy,
have a good paying job, be able to provide for our family, go on a vacation, just the resources, what we need to live, like the Maslow's hierarchy. We all kind of want those things, right? And I think that we forget how this nation was founded. First of all, this land was, people were already here, right? But when we look at how this nation was formed, off of exploitation, off of genocide, right? This is what kind of started this nation. And then fleeing the reign of tyranny, of being under a monarchy, under a king, and wanting not to pay the, you know. And then look at where we're at now, where we're going that direction, where we have someone that seems that they really want to be a king, you know, authority, you know.
And what I could add to that is that I think this was necessary it's a necessary stage for a form of government to mature. Like, I think we need to deal with someone like this one time, right? To make sure we put in the mechanisms for the next time that
So
I don't.
it looks like he knows what it smells like, so you already know right off rip.
Because it could be, you know, like he could just say, "I'm not listening." No.
And that's kind of what he's been doing thus far.
But to me, it feels like the judiciary, even though he personally can't be held accountable, the underlings below him can.
I hear you.
Right? And that scares them.
For some of them, I mean, some people are exiting stage left where they're like, hey, I'm just going to steer clear and get up out the way.
You think if Musk did something wrong, he's going to get a pardon now?
Vice versa, right? Because, you know, Musk, that whole fallout is crazy, right?
That's like a barrel. Oh my gosh!
Musk was insinuating that he had some bombshell stuff on Trump, right? And then he deleted all these things, right?
Well, Elon was shooting fish in a boat, and then he became one of the fish.
And then too, what the president was also saying was that, you know, and people are saying that Elon Musk has some issues with some substances, right? So who knows? You know what I mean? But they were bosom buddies, and Elon put over $275 million in the campaign.
That's a lot of money.
So something has happened where they've fallen out. My theory, and this is just me speaking for myself, I think Elon's like, oh, my damn Tesla stock is going to hell. Let me get out of here. I don't support that deal.
This this is what I think happened. I think Elon Musk got a little wild in the Oval Office, and the Secret Service roughed him up. And he was embarrassed by that, because Elon Musk would be someone that would never get roughed up. He would have his security rough him of other people, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure we stay in the clear.
Yeah. I'm just not. I'm trying to think of all this crazy, but this kind of politics interests me, team. I know it hurts people. There is a hurting aspect, but there's also a healing aspect to this that will come as we get through it.
I pray that we get there sooner than later, because it's needed. This nation was built off of people coming from all around the world, and it will always be built on that. From everywhere, right? So I think as long as we stay true to loving and respecting one another, and knowing that our diversity is our beauty. That's what's beautiful about this nation, and coming together to make sure we all have what we need, because there's enough resources for everyone. It really is.
And it's all right to speak up. It's also all right not to speak up.
Definitely.
It's all right to give aid in certain ways through your platforms or whatever.
Totally.
But it's also all right to step back and just watch and be patient, right? All these things are all right, because we don't know how this is all going to play out, and it could end up with some good things. Right?
Let's hope.
So let's just not be totally negative, right? Let's hope.
Let's hope that is the case. And I'm a little bit different. I feel like each of us has a part that we can play. I don't, in a positive light.
Yeah.
I want people to engage in conversations that need to be had in a positive light, in hopes of finding solutions that address the needs for all of our community, not nothing that's dividing or cultivating more hate or division. Like, I'm not for that, but I feel like we all have a part to play
Martin
as
Luther King
Americans.
style, nonviolence.
Totally.
Use your brain, right?
One thing I want to shout out real quick is that's happening this next Sunday in partnership with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Riverside and their Social and Environmental Justice Committee and Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity. We have Congressman Mark Takano coming out to speak. The event is called Faithful Action, a conversation with Congressman Mark Takano. This is going to be happening Sunday, June 15th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. He's going to do his, I don't want to say a sermon, but they invite guest speakers at the service. He's going to be doing that, and it's going to be followed by a community forum. So we just want to spread the word on that. It's a free event. Light snacks and refreshments will be provided. It'll be an opportunity to engage with one of our congressmen, Congressman Mark Takano, so of the 39th Ward, I believe. So I just wanted to put that out there, invite everyone as well. And then finally, some positive news. The healing circles that I was orchestrating were basically and I believe, I might have this wrong, but the Supreme Court had pulled some grant funding, but the court said that was wrong, and the funding has been reinstated. So that allows me to do my final healing circle, and that will be taking place June 21st, Saturday, June 21st at Operation New Hope from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be raffling off $200 worth of gift cards and cash prizes. It'll be light snacks. But the whole thing is to cultivate community, to address the divides, to heal our community, to be healers within our community.
And I want to thank Amy for watching my mama today. I love you
Thank
both.
you, Amy.
And
God
this
bless
is
you, Madre.
Robert Porter and Ipiani Love San Bernardino County Radio Show, and we all